What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are finishing the week. It's been a little bit of a choppy week, but another green day, up $300. So for me, that means I'm up around $2,000 this week, which for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that that is not a very big week. $2,000 is actually what I average on a decent day, but we're in a little bit of a slow market. So I'm taking those base hits, putting them in my pocket, and it's better to close the week in the green than in the red. So that's what it's about right now, just being consistent, taking a little bit of profit, and then getting out of the market. Today I was up actually $1,700, gave some back, and so at this point I'm like, no, I'm walking away green. I'm not giving back any more. Anyways, we'll break down all of today's trades in today's midday market recap. What's up, everyone? All right, so we're gonna break down the trades from this morning, finishing the week with another green day, which is awesome. I'm happy with that, but you know, this has been a choppy week, and the last 4 weeks have been pretty choppy actually. So I'm only up about $2,000 this week. Lost $480 on Monday. I made $800 on Tuesday, $960 on Wednesday, $636 on Thursday, and now $305 today. So $2,000 profit plus $5,500 from last week. That's good. That's about $7,500 of profit. But you guys know, 2 weeks ago today, I had a big red day. So the last 2 weeks has been kind of digging myself out of the hole. And unfortunately, we're just not in a market where I can get or where I'm seeing really big winners. It's just, you know, these small gains. And so that makes digging yourself out of a hole, you know, that much harder because it's going to take that much longer. But the reality is, I've been here, you know, 1,000 times before. It's nothing unfamiliar to be in the red and have to work my way back out of it. So really not that stressed about that. I think the hard thing is that it just starts to become a little taxing when you have, you know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, where the market's just kind of sideways, where you're not seeing really good follow through in the type of stocks that you like to trade. Now, I had someone ask me on YouTube yesterday. He said, you know, it seems like you're really stubborn with following your strategy, and on a day like today, maybe I would have done better if I had traded outside my strategy. A stock like DBX, you know, Dropbox made a big move. Why don't I try to trade that? Or yesterday, a stock like Etsy, why don't I try to day trade that? And on the one hand, yes, that's true. These are definitely opportunities. However, the reason that I'm stubborn with just trading my strategy is because I'm up almost $300,000 this year, and it's June 15th, trading just my strategy. And I found that when I venture outside of my strategy, that's when I start to make mistakes. And so, you know, it's made me try to keep rules where I know what I trade and I don't trade anything else. And, you know, I sort of have my blinders on in that way. If it's above 20 bucks, I'm not going to trade it. And it doesn't mean that there's not opportunities there. And it doesn't mean that I couldn't try to build a strategy around it. But we have traders in the community who trade those higher priced stocks. That's what Mike does every single day. My focus is trading the lower priced stocks because these are the type of stocks that you trade when you're an account builder. So, you know, when you think about the profile, we were talking about this the other day, you know, what like profile of a trader, what type of trader are you? I'm a, you know, aggressive account builder type of trader that's willing to take some high risk trades for some big reward, right? Now, then you've got Mike, who's more of a sniper trader. He's very focused on A quality setups with the potential to make big moves, and he prefers to trade the higher price stocks because for him, he feels like they're a little bit more predictable. You know, when you do catch a solid move on the 5-minute time frame of a stock like Etsy, you're looking at $4, $5, $6 a share. Now, for me, being this you know, account growth type of trader, I'm going for quick entry, quick exit. I want to just capture a quick profit and get out of the market. But with Mike's approach, it's a little bit different. So And then, of course, you've got Jeff's approach of trading options, where that's one of those things where a good options trade is going to go up 100%, and a bad one might go down 30%. So you're looking at some big ranges there, and you're not going to get those profits usually intraday. A lot of times they're over the course of 3 or 4 days. So, within Warrior Trading, we've got multiple trader profiles. So if you're the type of trader that does want to venture into higher price stocks, you can log in and, tune into Mike. If you're account growth focused and you're trying to take $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 in a month, then you're going to need to trade my strategy, because you're not going to be able to afford to trade Etsy and DBX and those expensive ones. You don't have the capital to do it. So, that's kind of the approach for me. We all sort of try to be really like masters at what we're doing, masters at our own strategy. And yeah, occasionally I'll venture into something Mike likes to trade, and maybe occasionally he'll venture into something that I might like to trade. But you generally find that you're good at what you're good at. And I'll say it again, when you go see a concert, you don't see, Jerry Garcia to say, you know what? I'm not going to play a guitar, today. I'm going to go play the saxophone. It's like, excuse me. I mean, he could have done that, but, for the most part, it's like, I'm kind of expected to play this role. This is what I do. And it doesn't mean that he couldn't probably do something on the drums or the piano that sounds nice, and it doesn't mean I couldn't probably make a little bit of money on Etsy or DBX, but, I've got my area that's really kind of mine. I own it. I'm really strong there, and that's where I excel. So, that's just kind of, 2 cents on that. And so any of you guys watching on Facebook or on YouTube, I'd love for you guys to put comments down, because, they get me thinking, and I'll probably answer them in one way or another, either answering them right away in the comments section or coming back and answering them in a midday recap, today or later, next week or something like that. So I read all those comments and I love seeing them. So feel free to throw them down there. And if you like the videos, give us a thumbs up. You want to learn more about trading, subscribe, and you'll be getting these videos every time we upload them. So anyways, today's a day where I'm making $300. This is not a home run day. I mean, a month ago in May, I had 2 days where I made $58,000. So did I make $58,800 or $58,500? Who cares? It was $58,000. So, $300 here or there, it's like, it doesn't mean a lot when you've had big days like that, when you're up almost $300,000 in 6 months of trading. But this is a market where it's about base hits, and those base hits do add up. So I'm up $5,500 last week, $2,000 this week. That's $7,500, and I'm happy with that. However, the last 4 weeks for me have certainly been very choppy. 4 weeks ago, I had a break-even week. I had a $7,000 winner, and then I had a $7,000 loser, and just a little bit of chop. I think I was up maybe actually about $1,000. But to me, at that point, that was basically a break-even week. And then 3 weeks ago, I lost about $18,000 in 1 week, being really, really aggressive as the market was starting to turn. So I got caught at the very top of the wave, and I got knocked down. And that was certainly a little bit disappointing, because that was one of the biggest losses that I've had this year. But the reality is, I've had red streaks where over the course of 3 weeks, I've slowly lost $15,000 or $20,000. So this time, it wasn't over the course of 3 weeks. It was just basically in the course of 2 days. And since then, I've been bouncing back up. However, I've been bouncing up slowly. Last week, $5,500. This week, $2,000. So I'm still red versus the last roughly 4 weeks of trading. And, when we look back at the P&L, you're going to see this equity curve where it's like straight up and then a little bit of pullback, a little bit of sideways. And right now we're kind of curling back up, but a little bit more slowly. Now, one of the things that I'm going to emphasize is that if you're a small account trader and you're trying to build your account, you're not going to be taking the same level of risk that I was taking when I took those big losses. The reason that I'm able to take that much risk is because of how much I'm already up on the year. And, if you risk 16,000 and you make 32,000, then you realize, okay, it's worth taking those trades when you're right 70% of the time. And that's why a month ago, I had those two back-to-back $30,000 days, and it was up $58,000 that week. That will happen, but you don't make $58,000 in 2 days without taking risk, and sometimes you get on the wrong side of that risk and you will lose money. So that's part of trading. We all know that, but it's just a matter of being able to adjust. And so what I've had to do in the last 2 weeks especially is adjust to a little bit of a slower market. And I wasn't expecting that the market would slow down as much as it has. Certainly I was hoping that maybe it would be a week of slowness and then it would bounce right back. But this has been a little bit of, kind of choppiness. So the good news is that it's giving me an opportunity to exercise discipline, and I'm really doing well with that. That makes me feel good. I'm not, throwing money at the market. I'm keeping my share size restricted. I'm keeping it small. Today I traded with slightly larger share size because we had CLPS gapping up, and I thought this was potentially going to be a really nice trade. And then you can see I made $1,000 on it right here. So I made money on it, but it wasn't as clean as I hoped it would be. So I got in this anticipating a break. First 5-minute candle to make a new high. And so I got in as soon as the bell rang, I was in this at 85 and 94. I mean, I jumped right in thinking that it would most likely pop up and retest pre-market highs, which was 1050. It did, however, it did it in a kind of choppy way. It popped up to a high of 1020, and then it dropped down to 980, and I got out. Then it goes up to 1178. So kind of disappointing there. I made on my first trade $1,700, and on the second trade I got in for the first 1-minute candle to make a new high, which was right here, and I lost $700 as it dropped down. So I ended up stopping out kind of down here near support, which wasn't great, but you see it ended up going to the highs and then coming right back down. This is choppiness. It's chop, it's chop, it's chop. So anyways, $1,000 total profit on 2 trades on CLPS, 1 winner, 1 loser. I then jumped right into AWX. This one was hitting our scanners. I saw it and I was like, okay, it's going through my checklist. It's hit the scanners multiple times. It's like 10 times on the scanner. Its volume spiking up here. I'm gonna jump in this, and so I jumped in it at at 3.9 and 3.17. I jumped in and I was like, this thing looks great. It pops up to a high of 3.40 and I'm up, 30 cents. And a minute later, it drops all the way back down here to a low of 2.80. So I go from being up 20 cents to down 20 cents. And I ended up getting out right around here, just under down about 12 cents per share or something like that. 75 shares and I lost $1,000. So that was disappointing. I was down closer to 2,000 on it and was able to get out for a smaller loss. But look at this thing. It's now red on the day. So this is what's really disappointing, is that you're seeing setups that in a stronger market would take off and would really work. And in this market, it's just not happening. So this one ended up now being red on the day. BOXL, this is another stock that hit the scanners. I decided not to jump on it. It popped up and came right back down. Didn't hold up. JRSH, another one, hit the scanners. Now is red versus when it hit the scanners. Didn't hold up. AMBO, I jumped in this off the scanners at 583. It taps a high of 618. I made $360 on it. And then next thing you know, it's back down here at 480. So this is the chop that we're seeing. We're not seeing stocks really hold up incredibly well. TPIV, this one has been doing better. I hesitated on it a little bit. And at this point, I just feel like the fact that I'm up only $300 on the day coming into 11 tells me that this isn't my day. So maybe I'll miss an opportunity on this, but the reality is you have to know when to be aggressive and when to scale back. And if you have a day where you're up only $300 in the first hour, that's a day to scale back. This is not a day to be aggressive. And even if I end up seeing something squeeze, it's like, well, I just don't have the cushion to take the risk on it. I would rather close the day up 300 than down 300. And by doing that for the last 4 days, 5 days, or even for doing that for the last 2 weeks, I've been able to make $7,500 profit. So, green is good. These are small wins. They're not home run trades, but it's kind of just me treading water, waiting for the market to pick back up. And you never know when it'll happen. And it could be a surprise. All of a sudden today, CLPS could have gone to $40. It didn't, but it could have. And TPIV, you never know. I mean, this could have taken off and been at $20 by now. So HJLI, this was another one that was on the scanners. Look at this. It pops up and now it's red on the day. So we're in a market that's a little bit tricky for sure. You got to focus on base hits. When you're up 10 cents, take the profit. Be disciplined about that. That's what's been working really well for me, is being really aggressive about taking profit quickly. So, at this point, that's the game plan, and I'll be back at it first thing Monday morning, looking for a couple stocks to trade, and hopefully we can get a couple base hits and start next week off with a green day. All right, so I hope you guys all have a really great weekend, and you get some rest. For the fathers out there, enjoy your Father's Day. I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, those of you that are in the classes, study up. It's a good time to practice. It's a good time to trade in the simulator. This is a market where, if you can be profitable in this market, even if it is only $1,000 a week, you're showing that you've really got something. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So just keep practicing, and then when you are on the other side and we're in a really hot market, then you're going to be doing really well. All right, so it's a good time to practice. All right, everyone. So that's it for me, and I'll see you all first thing Monday morning. All right, see you guys next week. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.